Hey, Miss Abiodun, good morning. Aldi, good morning. Kele, good morning. Joseph Ini, this is looking like a new name. Bello Mohammed, good morning. All right, so we're starting now. We're still 17 on board. I believe others will join us along the way. Zoom user, okay, maybe you can just put your real name so that we'll not keep addressing you as Zoom user. And you say you are new, you're welcome. Madam Elizabeth, you're welcome. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So today is wow, today is very, how do I call it? It's remarkable. Today is the 11th of November, 2024. All right, so we'll look first at the fundamentals, then we'll go over to the technicals so that we can, have a broad view of what to expect in the market for this week. So today, Monday, we have all day Euro French bank holiday. So we need to be careful with the Euro pairs today because from the Eurozone, there'll be French bank holiday. And today, again, all day, there will be bank holiday in Canada, there will be bank holiday in the United States. So I will advise us to trade with a lot of caution today. United States bank holiday, Canada bank holiday, Eurozone bank holiday. At least those three pairs we need to be careful of them, the euro pairs, the card pairs, and the dollar pairs. So we trade with a lot of caution today. So, but then because of time, we'll look at just the important events we have for the week. Tomorrow, there'll be claimant count change from the United Kingdom by 8 a.m. It's going to be a high impact event, so we can trade it with caution though, and it will happen simultaneously with the average earning index, both of them coming up by 8 a.m. tomorrow. And we also need to be careful tomorrow by 4 p.m. There'll be FOMC member Waller who will be given a speech. Same thing, 11 p.m. tomorrow, FOMC member Aka will give a speech. Those might have impact on the dollar. And for Wednesday, the important event on Wednesday is by 2:30 p.m. and that's the core CPI, the CPI monthly, and the CPI yearly from the United States. So we should look forward to that. CPI is usually a volatile event. Hopefully, I believe we should be trading it live. So let's plan ahead for that. So Wednesday is a big day for this week, with CPI. And on Thursday, there will be the employment change and unemployment rate from Australia by 1:30 a.m. So you can stay awake to trade it. I mean, there's no harm in making a few dollars in the middle of the night so that you can spend good money in the course of the day. So you can watch out for that by 1:30 a.m. on Thursday. And during the course of the day on Thursday, there will also be the core PPI monthly and the PPI monthly and unemployment claims, three of them from the United States by 2:30 p.m. on Thursday. So we can watch out for that. This is expected to have a high impact on the market. And also on the same Thursday, there will be a lot of volatility across the euro, the dollar, and the pound because of all the speeches that will take place. 8 p.m., ECB President Lagarde will give a speech. 9 p.m., Fed Chair Powell will give a speech. 10 p.m., Bank of England Governor Bailey will also give a speech. Though this will be later in the night, but then if you have running trades, you need to be careful because these three events happening one after the other could lead to a lot of volatility in the market. And finally, on Friday, we're going to be having the GDP, the gross domestic product, from the United Kingdom by 8 a.m. So let's watch out for this. One benefit of fundamental events is that you can plan ahead of them and take your trade, in due course. You can plan ahead and, take it. So also on Friday, there will be the core retail sales and the retail sales, also followed by the Empire State Manufacturing Index by 2:30 p.m. on Friday. So these are the major events, we just quickly run for the week. So we can look forward to these events and plan to trade them. So I'll flip over now to my MetaTrader 4 and we'll look at the technicals that we have for this week. Now, the US election has come. the winner has been declared, and it's Donald Trump. So, that really led to a lot of spike in the market, a lot of volatility in the market last week, especially on the election day on Tuesday. The market really went, really, really volatile. So, but then market is trying to recalibrate itself. Normal activity, normal movement should start in the market this week. Some readjustment, some continuation we're going to see. Now, for the dollar index, this is my view for the dollar index for this week. I can see we have this trend line, on the daily time frame. So we have a series of lower highs here, and from my view, I perceive we should expect a further decline, in the dollar in the course of this week, because price is, hitting the trend line. And there's a 1, 2, 3 rule, where when price hits the trend line the third time, we expect a continuation. So I expect a bounce in a bearish direction on the dollar for this week. So technically, I hold a bearish outlook on the dollar index for this week. So if we have a bearish outlook on the dollar index, then I'll be looking at the USD Now for the USD this is my view. Now on the daily time frame, we can see that we also have, the trend line descending downwards, and also price touching it the third time here, which technically should lead to a bearish movement. Also, there is also this support turned resistance here, with this zone now becoming a confluence between the trend line and the support turn resistance. That is a further confirmation of a bearish movement on the USD So if we zoom it down to 4 hour, on the 4 hour time frame, currently what I'm seeing here is a pattern that is evolving, which may look a lot like a double top. And if that finally evolves into a double top, it will give a confirmation of a bearish movement on the USD So I hold a bearish outlook on the USD Now, this is just analysis. If this really evolves into a double top pattern, then we can look at making our entry at the break of the neckline, just where I'm putting my horizontal line to. So whenever price breaks out below this neckline region, then we can trigger a sell. At least price is expected to go to the next support level, which is going to be this zone. And that can give us on the average at least about 70 pips on the USD So I hold a bearish outlook on the USD for this week. Now, this is a swing setup, it's a 4 hour setup. We trade what we see. That is what the market is giving at the moment. So that's what we trade. I'm trying to build out a lower time frame, but I'm not really getting much confirmation of entry on the lower time frame for now. So we'll stick with what we can see, which is a swing. So again, I hold a bearish outlook on the USD Now, if this really works out and price comes down to this level, I believe what will happen ultimately is that price may eventually form a big head and shoulder for a massive dump much later. But then that's just on a bigger perspective. For now, let's take what we can see, which is a double top forming on the 4 hour, where we expect a drop. So I have a bearish outlook on the USD and in the same manner, I also have a bearish outlook on the USD Since the dollar index is bearish, then these major currencies where the dollar is the base currency is expected to follow suit in that same direction. For the USD if we go to the daily time frame, we can clearly see that price, is trying to, not even trying to, it already hit a support on resistance zone right here. And not only that, I can also clearly see that we can draw our trend line here to form a rising wedge pattern. Now, with price hitting a support on resistance, that tells us we're expecting a bearish movement on the USD And also with a rising wedge pattern, it equally means we're looking for a bearish breakout. And if we move now to the 4 hour time frame, I'm seeing a pattern that is evolving, which may evolve into a head and possibly a shoulder pattern, which will lead to a bearish breakout also. So if this works out as we're looking at, then we may be expecting a breakout, right, at least right below this region. So if that happens, then we should look at taking a bearish trade on the USD JPY. We shouldn't forget confirmation for that trade also would mean that our RSI on the 4-hour time frame should be clearly below 50. That's our final confirmation, to trigger a bearish trade. So I hold a bearish outlook on the USD JPY. And same thing also on the USD CAD. I equally hold a bearish outlook on the USD CAD. Now for the USD CAD on the weekly time frame, price has not been able to break out above this resistance zone since October 2022. Yeah, since October 2nd, 2022, that is in the last 2 years, price has just been trading around this resistance level. Now, price is back into that same resistance level or resistance zone rather on the weekly time frame. If you go down to the daily time frame, you can see that price is still within the resistance zone. Now, we zoom down to 4-hour. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, I can clearly draw a trend line here and a second trend line at the back to form a rising wedge pattern. Now, this one, I wouldn't say whether it's going to be a double top or head and shoulder. It's not so clear at the moment. But what I strongly believe is that price is expected to still break out. At least if for any reason at all that we have a resistance and we have a rising wedge, we should anticipate a breakout of price, on the USD CAD. So due to that, I hold a bearish outlook also on the USD CAD. And the final confirmation would be that RSI should be clearly below 50 for us to trigger a sell on the USD CAD. Okay, so that's it for all the dollar pairs where the major currency rather, where the dollar is the base currency. Now, since we're bearish on the USD CAD, the USD CHF, USD JPY, then we're having the bullish outlook on the Euro USD. Now, to be honest, the dollar is a king this week, and that's largely because of the just concluded election, from the United States. So for the Euro USD, we can see that price is, trading around this trend line on the weekly time frame. So technically, we should be expecting a bounce in the bullish direction. That's what, is expected here. Now, if we look also critically, we can see that where price is at the moment, on that line, you can see the price line here. In time past, price has always reacted at this same price level. You can see at a point here, it acted as a resistance. Here, it was a support. Here again, it was a support. Here again, a support. This one is very close, still a support. So that tells you that that current price level is a key level. Now that key level is now in confluence with this trend line from the weekly time frame. So if we zoom down to the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see that that confluence also is evolving into a double bottom pattern, which is expected to trigger a bullish breakout on the Euro USD. Now, don't forget that we are bearish on the USD CHF, and we actually saw a double top pattern on the USD CHF. So it's not in place to have a double bottom on the Euro USD because both the Euro USD and the USD CHF, they are actually negatively correlated. They go in opposite direction. So we have a double bottom on the Euro USD, and we'll look at taking the buy trade once price breaks out above the neckline, right here. And we can target the next resistance level as the take profit level. And you may just put a pen in order at the tip of the neckline here. And going up to this area here will give us at least about 100 pips on the USD, Euro USD, when price eventually breaks out above the neckline. So we hold a bullish outlook on the Euro USD. And next, we're looking at the AUD USD, GBP USD. So this is the AUD USD. Now for the AUD USD, we'll start on the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that price, is also trading on the trend line. We can see price is making a series of higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So technically, we should expect a bounce in the bullish direction. More so last week, candle, the whole of the week ended up like a kind of a rejection candle. So that tells us we should look for a bullish movement on the AUD USD for this week. So if we go down to the daily, nothing much on the daily, but we go down on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, if we zoom it, this manner, what I'm seeing here is a pattern that is looking like an inverse head and shoulder, which would trigger a bullish movement. That's my view on the AED USD. And further confirmation to that is that I can clearly draw a trend line here and a second trend line from this angle to form a falling wedge pattern, which is another confirmation of a proposed bullish breakout on the AED USD. Final confirmation would be RSI to be clearly above 50 for us to trigger a buy on the AED USD. And I'll also advise, since this is a swing setup, that's what the market is giving this week. Since it's a swing setup, I would also advise you wait for a clear break above this zone here for us to trigger a buy. Very, very important. Wait for price to break above the trend line and above this zone to trigger, a final bullish movement on the AUD USD. So we're bullish on the AUD USD. And like I said, we're equally bullish on the GBP USD. For the GBP USD, we start from the daily. On the daily time frame, we can clearly see that price is trending, in the bullish direction. These are higher lows, higher lows. Third time price is touching the trend line, we expect a bullish movement. And if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see that we have a falling wedge pattern. I wouldn't call this completely an inverse head and shoulder, but then all I know is that price is expected to break out, from this falling wedge pattern. So if it works out exactly like that, then we should get ready that whenever price breaks out above, this trend line region, above this region here, should get ready to trigger a buy on the GBP USD. So we're bullish on the GBP USD. And for the dollar, for the major pairs, I also look finally at the New Zealand USD. Now, I want to sound a caution here. We are not suggesting you trade all of this setup, Now, we are all busy people, as I presume. So it's possible you might miss one or two. But at then, no matter how busy your schedule is, you will still find some few pairs to trade. At least take 2 or 3, out of all the setup we're giving when they eventually, mature for trading. All right, so this is a New Zealand USD. We can clearly see on the weekly time frame that price is also bouncing off the trend line on the weekly time frame. And last week closed on the trend line again. So we expect a bullish movement in the course of this week. And if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see this is also forming an inverse head and shoulder, which will trigger a bullish breakout. So we also hold a bullish outlook on the New Zealand USD. But I will also say for this one, we should not neglect the fact that there is a resistance here, which is the neckline region. So it's good we'll wait for a breakout above that neckline to trigger a buy on the New Zealand USD. All right, so that'll be all for the major pairs. Now I'll look at gold. Now, gold, before the election, gold has just been in a world of its own, just trending higher and higher. And last week, it looks like gold formed a head and shoulder pattern, and price has broken down below the trend line on the daily time frame. If you look again critically, we can actually draw a trend line here to give us a rising wedge pattern. So the question is gold ready for a bearish breakout, or is it going to go in the bullish direction? To be honest, I will advise we trade gold with a lot of caution, because any of these two scenarios can play out, in the course of the week. So what I will advise we do with gold is this. If we zoom down to the 4-hour time frame, I would say that gold is actually at a critical point. Now, if we look at the dollar index, we are bearish on the dollar. That's what we can see technically. And technically, in reality, gold is looking a lot bearish with a rising wedge pattern on the daily time frame, with a head and shoulder on the daily time frame. Technically, this guy is bearish. But there's something about how the market moves, how price works in the financial market. Gold is negatively correlated with the dollar index, meaning if the dollar index is buying, gold should be selling. If the dollar index is selling, gold should be buying. So now that does not mean in real occasions it's not possible for both of them to be selling at the same time, because what we're seeing now means that both of them should be selling, which is going to go against how things work, because of the pairs of the currencies involved. Gold is XAU USD, while the dollar index is, the dollar and the index, the X. So both of them should not be selling at the same time. Let me go back to the dollar index so that I can give you a clearer view. So gold is looking bearish. The dollar index also, we said we are bearish on it. So what do we now expect, or how do we expect to trade gold at this time? What I would advise we do is this. If gold breaks out below, now this is looking like after the head and shoulder breakout, this is looking like a correction and then a further continuation. That is what it's looking like. So what I will advise we do is this. If gold is able to break out below this region here, we may be looking at taking a sell. If a new candle breaks out below this zone, we may be looking at taking a sell. But at the same time, it's also possible for price to drop to this and take this zone as a support and go back up. That is very, very possible. So if that is what happens, if it finds support here and this now becomes a double bottom pattern, if gold finds support at this support, finds support at this place, it may also become a double bottom, which may trigger a bullish movement. Why will it trigger a bullish movement? Because the dollar index is bearish. So technically, we should be looking for an opportunity to buy gold. You understand? So if that is what happens, then it means that we may look at taking a buy trade on gold, a bullish trade on gold, if price breaks above the neckline region here. So I would say that gold is just in between a buy and a sell. We need to wait for the market to do its thing. So it's possible in the course of the week. What if the dollar index decides to go bullish? If it breaks out above this region, because the election is over, it doesn't mean that the fundamentals in US cannot still take over. So if the dollar index breaks out, then definitely it means we could see a bearish movement on gold. Yeah, gold will just have its massive crash. But if on the other hand, the dollar index maintains its bearish direction and gold now forms a double bottom, then we should be ready to go long on gold. So let's just watch out and let market forces, let the forces of demand and supply, determine how we trade gold, for this week. So we should also, this is even a further confirmation here. We have a support turn resistance. So if gold is able to form a double bottom, or even if it's not a double bottom, if price can reverse from here and break out above this support turn resistance zone, then we can look at buying gold. All right, so that's my view on gold. I think I've attended to most of what I wrote here. And the final one I'll look at is the DJ30. All right, so due to the election last week, we can see massive bullish movement on the DJ30. This is the daily time frame. But then we can also see that price eventually formed a rising wedge pattern, which is technically a bearish pattern. It's a reversal pattern. And a further confirmation to a possible reversal is the fact that price also hit a psychological level. Price hit a psychological level, at 44000, You can see that region I circled over there. And that psychological level, is acting as a confluence with the tip, of this, with the higher eye up there of the rising wedge pattern, which also means we will be expecting a bearish movement on the DJ30. And finally, if we zoom down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we had a rejection candle here, and we are seeing a pattern here that is evolving like a head and shoulder, which may lead to a bearish movement on the DJ30. So I hold a bearish outlook on the DJ30. All right, so that will be all from my analysis for this week. I'll just do a rundown, a recap of all I've done, so of all I've analyzed so far, so that we can take note of it as the week evolves. Firstly, we looked at the dollar index, and I said we're bearish on the dollar index. Now, all this setup I've given today, they are all swing setup. That is what the market is giving. We're bearish on the dollar index. We're bullish on the Euro USD. I said that this is forming a double bottom pattern, which we anticipate will trigger a buy trade once price breaks above the neckline. We are bullish also on the AUD USD. It's forming an inverse head and shoulder. We are equally bullish on the GBP USD. We're bullish on the New Zealand USD. We're bullish on the New Zealand USD. Take note of that resistance, that neckline, and wait for a breakout above that region. We're bearish on the USD CAD. We're bearish on the USD JPY. We're bearish on the USD CHF. Now the USD CHF is having a double top pattern, giving us a bearish outlook. And I said for gold, we're in between. A breakout above this zone will mean we're looking for an opportunity to buy, and a breakout below this zone here means we're looking for an opportunity to sell. So we're in between on gold. And which other one? On DJ30, I said we're bearish on DJ30. So that's going to be all from my end from this morning. So this is DJ30. I said we're looking at the possible formation of a head and shoulder. Now, like I always say, even though we have this view, it may happen, it may not happen. If it happens, perfect. That it means our analysis works out fine. And if it doesn't, there's no big deal about it. Another pattern will form. Or if no pattern forms, we will see that around this confluence, we should still see an opportunity to sell nonetheless. So that's all from me this morning. If you have a question, drop it in the comment section. I will attend to you. Bolaji Sonny, Bitcoin. Now, we should know that Bitcoin currently is fundamentally driven. And one of the things pushing Bitcoin now is the fact that Donald Trump already made some statements even before he won the election, that when he wins the election, I think, if have not confirmed, but I think I heard someone saying that he would kind of adopt, that the United States government will adopt the BTC as maybe a legal means of payment. So that's, that alone is driving the BTC. And more so, Donald Trump now won the election. If he didn't win the election, we may not have seen this kind of reaction we're seeing. He won the election. So currently BTC is at 81,000. Now, if you have not taken a buy trade before, well, I will say you should be cautious. This is pure, we do more pure technicals here. So it's possible to see some retracement and a further continuation. And that's what I'm trying to look at. But the trend is bullish. The trend is bullish. So if price is able to drop probably to a support zone, and you now want to look for a further continuation, that's possible. This is 15 minutes time frame. If price is able to drop to this support zone, then you may look for a further bullish continuation on BTC. But the trend for BTC now is bullish. And like I said, it's purely fundamental driven. So BTC is now at its all-time high at 81,000. This is the first time it's ever getting to this price level. So that's just my view, on the BTC. Any other question or request for analysis as we round up?
Good morning, Ross.
Good morning.
I want to ask, I'm making a mistake on my analysis. My essay is always bigger than my
Sorry, your
thinking. I don't
volume
know
is not
why.
clear, sir. I can barely hear what you're saying. Maybe you can
You
type it.
cannot okay.
So another one while we're waiting for Mr. Isaac. Don't forget, if you're there, you're not yet you've not had a physical training. Hey, thank you, Adebayo. Thank you for that. So we have physical training at our Abuja and Lagos office every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you live around Abuja and its environ, then you can walk over to our Abuja office. The address is 50 Ebitu Okiwe Street, Walk and Connect Building, 50 Ebitu Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. You can walk in for training at this location on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you live in Lagos and its environment, you can come over to our office at Agos Executive Lounge at 54B at Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Tuesdays, Thursdays by 11 a.m. For our training. The Tuesday training is a beginner's class. So the idea is to give you the foundational knowledge of how to trade the financial markets. And on Thursday, we'll move over to the intermediate and advanced class. So we'd love to see you at these two locations for training. EBS, please, I came late. Can I just have a total roundup of the pairs, analyze and your bias? Sir, I'll meet us shortly. I already gave the view. I said I'll just run a recap for you. We're bearish on the dollar index. We're bullish on Euro USD. We're bullish on the AED USD. We're bullish on the GBP USD. We're bearish on the USD JPY, USD CAD, USD CHF, and we're bearish on the DJ30. Now for gold, we are in between a buy and a sell. So what I will encourage you to do is that the link to this video will be dropped, on your WhatsApp group. I will upload it on YouTube after this class, and the link will be dropped on your WhatsApp group. So you can watch the video again so that it can give you a better view of what we've done. And I will encourage everyone to just watch this video over and over again. This is the analysis for the week. And I tell you, all the setup we have, they are swing. So that will give you a better perspective. Now you can now use, if you are probably a scalper, you trade 15 minutes time frame, you can now adapt your strategy. We've given you the trend. So all you need to do now is to trade in the line of that trend, to get maximum results in the course of the week. All right, somebody is asking, is the lesson free? The lesson is free, but then, you are required to open a live trading account and possibly fund the account also. Now, like I said, the lesson is free. We're not charging you for it, but we are also not a charity organization. The way it pays us is that you also open an account with us and fund it. If you are going to go to any other academy out there, you need to pay for training and you still need to fund your account to trade. So with Pure Primal, what we're saying is that we're not charging you for the training, but then you have to open it. The requirement is that you open a live trading account and also fund it. Now you may say that, but I'm still learning. I can't trade. We have it covered. So in the course of your training, we don't also expect your fund to be in your account lying there fallow doing nothing. So we have this earn while you learn program. So while you are learning, you can also be earning. So we have what is called the copy trading platform. Now, on this platform, we have a lot of professional traders that you can connect your account to. So as those people are trading on their account, then the same trades, will be replicated on your own account. So it's very transparent. You can see what is happening, and you can make money with that while you are still learning. So I would advise you reach out to your account manager. They will guide you more on how to go about the copy trading. You're welcome, EBS. Good morning, Isaac. God's will, Isaac. So we can have a sell stop for USD CHF after the neckline. Yes, of course. When is the boot camp starting? I think there's a flyer. I said I've been on leave, but I think I saw a flyer on the boot camp. I think starting on 14th or so, I'll confirm. If it's 14th, that should be sometime this week. So just watch out in your WhatsApp group. You'll get updates on all the programs we're running.
It has started.
It has started. Okay. So I've been away. So I just came
10 to
back.
14.
All right. All right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Cletus and Mama. How much will I fund? Zoom user. The question is not about how much you should fund. The question is how much do you want to make? It's how much you want to make that will be the decider of how much you should fund. Now, usually when you fund account with copy trading, for beginners like yourself, to for proper risk management, and sustainability of account, you should look at reasonable profits level. So I will advise you, if you have good funds, maybe 300, 500, $1,000 as your account can carry, and as your purse can carry, you can go ahead and fund and expect reasonable return, on your account as the trade starts. Adebayo, what vendor is PE Prime? I think I need further. Maybe you should explain further what you mean by vendor. My sell is bigger than my TP. I'm not getting that, God's will. Do you mean your stop loss is bigger than your take profit? Which broker? Adebayo, maybe you are new. PU Prime is the broker. We are not using any broker. We are the broker. You're on the brokerage platform. You are not just on any random academy. No, this is PU Prime, the broker. Our head office is in Australia. We're regulated across Australia, Cyprus, and we have over 20 offices globally with 2 offices in Nigeria. So we have physical presence everywhere. Like I said, 2 offices in Nigeria, they're located at Abuja and Lagos. Abuja is the head office for Nigeria, while the Lagos office is the regional office. You are free to walk to our office at any time. You want to see us face to face? Sure, you can walk over to our office, to confirm that. And once you open an account with us, you have a dedicated account manager who you can reach out to at any time, for, as regards your account and your trading with PU Prime. Okay, I think I've attended to all the questions here. So we need to bring this analysis session to a close. Don't forget, this analysis session runs 2 times in a day. I can see we have a lot of new people on the platform. We have analysis 2 times a day, 7 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. And those 2 sessions will give you insight into what to expect for both the morning session and the afternoon session, which is called the New York session. And we'll be doing this for almost like 2 years now. No broker does this, I can tell you that, having 2 analysis sessions twice a day. So watch out for the next session in the afternoon by 12:30 p.m. All right, we'll put this analysis to a close now. Take care and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome back. Have a great week.
You're welcome. You too.
Thank you, sir.